Hello and welcome to Rebels Radio latest interview. I'm joined by Slough Joint Manager Neil Baker. How are you, Neil?
I'm very well, John. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. So, a rarity in your management career at Slough Town, a 0-0 draw.
Yep. It shouldn't have been. I think we've seen obviously that the disallowed goal was perfectly it should have been given. It's as simple as that. Don't quite know what happened really because the linesman put his flag up. Didn't put his flag up. The referee gave the goal, and it was only I think because of the reaction of the St Neots players that the linesman thought, "Oh, hang on a minute, he was on the line. It must have been offside." And I think he guessed, and he did guess, and unfortunately the goal was chalked off. So, but we should have scored. We had enough chances, and it just didn't happen for us yesterday.
Yeah, there was a particularly strong first half performance on what must be said was an excellent surface. Really nice setup down at St Neots.
Yeah, lovely place. You can't help but enjoy yourself when you go there. It's nice changing rooms, pitch is superb, and good infrastructure around the place. So great place. But yeah, we played well first half. We were firmly in control of the game. I don't think Scotty had a save to make at all in the first half. As I say, on another day we would have put it in. Obviously, people say, "Oh well, we haven't taken our chances," and we've obviously lost Eddie and Charlie and Pi. But to be honest, it was just one of those days. I thought Scott in particular was absolutely fantastic, and on another day he would have scored a goal, and say Lee was a little bit unlucky as well. He probably should have done better with the shot in the first half where he had only the keeper to beat. But yeah, it just didn't happen for us.
Yeah, and it was interesting that St Neots were playing quite a high line. You're playing quite a direct type of football, quite a few balls over the top to turn them. Was that a plan that came in from the start?
Not from the start. No, as the game develops, you can sort of see where their weakness was, and we felt that their two centre halves, although they were big lads, that they didn't like it in behind them, and on that pitch, you're able to sort of play a bit more, or play some more quality balls, and they were quality balls in behind. We got caught offside a few times. And again a couple of times I wasn't too sure whether they were offside, but no, we caused them all sorts of problems. We passed the ball well and we worked hard, and that's one of the main things for us.
So disappointing to go in at half-time level, when you should have perhaps, you certainly had the lion's share of the first half, potentially could have been a few goals up.
Yeah.
What were you saying to the lads, and what did you expect for the second half?
Well, we said, no 45 minutes of football are ever the same, and obviously, that came into effect. I felt that, we said you'd got to go and do the same thing second half, and to be fair to St Neots, they came out and they created a bigger threat second half. Especially sort of first 15 minutes. We were under the cosh a little bit, and we then played our way back into the game, and again we had chances. And slight little ricochets that just weren't quite falling for us, and I think as somebody said, if we played all day we probably wouldn't have scored. It was just one of those days, and you get that in football. Obviously I know everyone will turn around and say, "Oh, it's because we don't have the firepower" and stuff like that. But as far as I'm concerned, Lee and Scott are more than good enough, and we'll have no issues there.
Yeah, and at the other end, a strong defensive display again with Guy Hollis being particularly strong, and another clean sheet.
Yeah, that's pleasing. 2 in 3. Obviously we'd worked on our defensive play the other week at training, and it's nice to have 2 clean sheets from 3 games from that. But the credit has to go to those 4 in particular. Guy, Hicksy, Sean and Jay. I did say at the end of the game it isn't just the back 4 and Scotty, it's the whole team and how we defend from the front, and I felt that we've been doing that. We've been better concentrated, and obviously Guy is a standout player at the moment. He's been absolutely top drawer. He was playing again yesterday with flu. That's why he wasn't going up and taking some of his longer throws and things like that, because he was struggling.
Is that
for
the reason
breath.
for that shot?
I have no reason. There's no reason for that shot. He sometimes thinks he's Gary Abbott, and it just wasn't a greatest shot from him. But no, he's been excellent. Him and Hicksy have done really well together, and I say Jay, especially in the last 3 games, has stepped up because you know, we'd had a chat with him because we didn't feel that he was where he was when he first came to the club. You know, that was obviously why we brought Stoney back in. But I think he's, you know, taken that on the chin, and his last sort of 2 or 3 performances have been a hell of a lot better.
Yeah,
and Sean, I think has gone, you know, from strength to strength this season.
One perhaps slight negative from the game was the fact that you lost Nathan quite on, but a positive from that was that Jake came on, did really well in the centre of midfield.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, you know, Nathan's obviously a very, very good player, and you know, to lose a player like that is a blow.
What was the reason?
He slight pull on his hamstring, so you know, I think that will probably keep him out for Monday. But as you say, Jake come in and done really well. You know, we've always, myself and John, you know, obviously Jake is more of a right-sided player or can play sort of on the wing, but we fancied him from the middle, and we talked about potentially playing him there this season. Obviously, he then got injured, and that hasn't sort of manifested itself. But I have to say, got on. You know, he was disciplined. He won a few headers in there, and his general play was very good. And you know, it's great for him to have got through probably 65, 70 minutes yesterday, and that was a real positive.
So overall, putting a line under that, it's disappointing to come away without 3 points, but still another point and another clean sheet.
Absolutely.
And moving on then to Hungerford, who comes up very quickly, a rare defeat for them against Cirencester yesterday. What do you make of it?
Well, it's a bit of a surprise, I have to say. I wasn't expecting to see that result. You know, when you look at the fixtures at the start of the day, you know, I would have had that down as a home win all day long. Having seen Cirencester, you know, a few weeks back when we played them and played them off the park, I just thought that Hungerford would be too strong for them, and you know, we'd gone to watch Hungerford on Monday night, and you know, they're a strong side. So in reality, yeah, it was a big surprise, but what that does is it means that they'll be fired up for Monday's game, because you know, they can't afford to lose a game. They can't afford to drop points now, you know, because you know, they can't afford to get too far behind in the playoff race. So they'll be under pressure to win the game, and you know, maybe that plays into us a little bit.
And in terms of the squad, how much difference is there going to be? Are you pulling in any players? Are you getting any dual loanees in?
Well, we hope to. Yeah, I mean, I hope to have sort of 2 or 3 sort of faces by tomorrow. We're waiting on one who's been playing at our level in our league. Somebody we know quite well who's going to come in till the end of the season, we hope. Just waiting for final confirmation of that. We've got a couple of young lads locally, a lad who's playing at Ascot who's going to sign dual reg forms, and we hope to have another lad who's been playing in the Combined Counties who's only 17. We hope to talk to him today and get him over. And we'll probably be signing George Short as well on a sort of dual registration, you know, just to give us a little bit of cover in midfield. The main reason, because we know and trust him, and you know, he's an honest lad, and you know, if we need to call on him, then we can do so. I've spoken with Sears. He says he's going to be back training this week as well, and I spoke to Coyne as well this week. He's going to play for Ascot, but if it gets to a stage where we desperately need a central midfielder, then you know, he would be available, but he wants to get 90 minutes in, which is understandable at this stage, you know, having not played for sort of 3 years.
So quite a lot of flux and change probably over the next few days and few weeks, but tomorrow to focus on, what do you hope from the game?
Well, you know, another strong performance. I thought it was a strong performance yesterday. You know, if we'd won the game 1-0, everyone would have been absolutely delighted, and you know, 3 points. So we're pretty pleased with the performance, and if we can go and put in another good performance, then we'll be happy. I'm not saying we'll go and win the game or, you know, even draw the game, but if we can put in a strong performance, we'll be happy with that. You know, because we are missing. You know, obviously we're not the biggest in terms of numbers, and obviously with Nathan getting injured, obviously the Eddie situation, and etc. etc. I mean, we haven't as of yet, you know, got a direct replacement for Eddie. And whether we do between now and the end of the season, I don't know. You know, it's not like, you know, Eddie's obviously been a very good player for us, and you know, scored a lot of goals, and you know, he's not easily replaceable. And to have somebody in mind when you weren't expecting what had to happen, you know, that's it doesn't happen overnight, unfortunately. So, you know, we have 1 or 2 lined up for next season. But you know, the ones that we are talking to are still under contract and won't be sort of joining us this season.
No. And Hungerford, not too far away from Slough, hoping to get a reasonable amount of rebels along tomorrow night.
Yeah, it was great. Good, really good following yesterday as well. I can understand why there was a good following because it is such a nice ground to go to. But yeah, it'd be nice to have as many rebels there as possible. It will be a tough game. They are a very good side. You know, I've seen them probably three or four times this season, and you know what a strong side Bobby's got there. So it'll be a difficult night for us, no doubt. But we'll give it our best shot.
Excellent. Well, thanks ever so much for your time, Neil, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Cheers, John.
Cheers.